The FAA is saying that this has been the busiest travel summer for air travel in 15 years. The TSA expected to screen more people this Labor Day weekend than it did during last year's holiday. A live picture right now at all of these busy airports: Atlanta, LAX, St. Louis, Philadelphia. And we're going to be joined right now by Fox's Chelsea Torres on the ground right now at Charlotte Douglas International Airport there. And let's be joined by her right now here on Live Now from Fox. Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us here. What can you tell us? How busy is the terminal there in North Carolina?
Yeah, Andy, thank you for having me tonight. I mean, you can tell right now it's pretty slow, and this is kind of when things are starting to die down, especially midway through the week. But earlier today, I spoke to a lot of people who were just happy to get out of Dodge before that weekend rush, really happy that they're going to be missing the crowds, which should start by Thursday. Now, one woman, she's leaving today. She'll be back on Friday, and Friday, that day in particular, TSA says will be the busiest.
From Pittsburgh to Charlotte in the evening, and actually the flights weren't very full. The terminal probably be packed when I get here.
United and American Airlines tell Fox they're expecting their largest Labor Day operation ever. Those two airlines say a combined 7 million people will fly with them through the holiday weekend. AAA says many people might be getting out of town because of cheaper prices, but one gentleman tells me he does not see the savings.
You notice that at all when you're booking anything?
No.
Okay. Same price?
About the same price.
And according to AAA, flights to Europe are actually up 8%. But if you're staying here in the States, just know that everything else seems to be pretty cheap. Flights are down about 6% compared to last year. Hotels are down 11%, and even rental cars are down 3%. So, Andy, if you're going to be getting out in the car and driving around anytime this weekend, just know that the busiest day will be Saturday. Experts are saying to leave as early as possible, no matter what day you decide to get on the road. But the good news for drivers is that analysts are also expecting Labor Day gas prices to be the cheapest that they've seen for Labor Day weekend in recent years. Andy?
All right, thank you so much. And as a reporter yourself, I'm sure you spend quite a bit of time at the airport, so it's interesting to see how you see it through just the amount of capacity there for some of these things. Any tips from a person, a seasoned traveler like yourself?
Yeah, Andy, I think the biggest tips I can give is just know your airport really well. Know when it gets busy, and especially if you're going to be flying out on Friday or even Saturday or even Monday. I mean, those days are supposed to be incredibly busy. So give yourself, I'd say, at least an hour and a half or so if you don't really go to the airports often. But when I say know your airport well, I mean know which gate you're going to, which will help you actually get there in a streamlined, fast, quicker. And my biggest tip also, because this happens to me often, and I always kick myself for when it happens, but know exactly what you should and should not have when you're going through the TSA line. So if you have a bottle of lotion that should be a little bit smaller than it actually is, just know you can go through those tips and everything on the airport's website to find out exactly what you should not be carrying, because again, that'll save you just more time getting through the airport. Andy?
Yeah, little different quirks for every single airport and every single kind of airline as well. So good tip there. All right, Chelsea, thank you so much. I appreciate your time here on Live Now from Fox. Safe travels.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, thank you so much. All right, great conversation there. As always, a live look at all of these major airports around the country as this Labor Day weekend, the FAA saying, has been the busiest summer for air travel in 15 years.